Hey guys, this is Rishabh here and welcome to day 6. I am your strategic marketing, personal branding coach and mentor, and today I'm going to be talking about something which is fundamentally very close to my heart. Today, we are going to be talking about the fundamental change that brands bring. Great brands plus great marketing bring about great change in people's lives. So let me take an example of a brand that actually has fundamentally changed the habits of how smartphone usage has evolved in a place like India or even in the world. When the iPhone launched with the single most important objective is to revolutionize the way smartphones or mobile phones are perceived in this world. So suddenly the iPhone became the brand of choice. The iPhone became the brand which somebody wanted to own. I remember I was in Unilever at that point in time, and there was a case study that we did in order to understand what iPhone was doing, and iPhone was promoting individuality. So every single phone has an identity. Brands have identity, and the identity iPhone had was the person who was an individualist, who was a successful person, and he was the solopreneur. He was the winner in life. So that's why an iPhone. So this is my phone. This is my phone. So that is how it was perceived, and they created that fundamental change of how smartphone usage was there at that point in time. So smartphone usage was typically like the Nokias of the world or the Samsung of the world, which had basic smartphones, and it had just started evolving. It was having its baby steps. But the moment iPhone launched and iPhone made that grand entry into the smartphone world, things had a revolutionary change. And that is the fundamental question that I'm asking you today. As a brand, what change are you striving or driving to make? If you look at the current situation during coronavirus, the brands like Lifebuoy and Dettol are fundamentally trying to bring about a habit change in people where they're asking you to wash hands and to have hygiene as the core of your well-being. And this habit change is going to bring about more number of lives saved, more number of children that have a better life, lesser number of illnesses, and that is the fundamental change that people are trying to make. Brands who have tried to create cults are brands like Harley Davidson, who took a look at a lot of estranged Americans who did not have a purpose in life, who did not have a following in life, and what they did was create a cult of followers of Harley Davidson, which was the Harley Owners Group. The Harley Owners Group was a belonging that these people had. They had similar-minded people or like-minded people who were aimless, but now had a purpose to use their bike as a style statement and connect with each other and go on long excursions. So that is how Harley Davidson fundamentally changed the overall branding experience. Brands like Huggies or brands like Pampers have fundamentally changed the way you actually look at toddler care or infant care, and you people today have lesser amount of time and more amount of distractions. So the lesser amount of time they take to do their necessities, the more amount of time they have to splurge on themselves, the more amount of time they have to think about their future. So that is why these things they don't take for granted when it comes to toddler care or child care. Parents who have very little time but have a lot of disposable income, the habit change was brought about very simply. These are the kind of fundamental changes that brands bring about. So again, the question again arises, what is that fundamental change that you're trying to drive? Now let me look at industries which are solopreneur-led industries, or industries where a lot of personal brands have created that change. If you look at the personal brand of Robin Sharma, the fundamental change that he wants to drive in people is to get them to peak performance, get them to leadership, get them to a position where they don't want to strive for all the possessions, but they want to strive for perfection. So that is what Robin Sharma actually wants to drive. A brand like Gary Vaynerchuk wants to drive people who are aimless or people who are struggling in life, to bring them to a place where they become successful entrepreneurs or successful influencers, and be relentless at it. He also is a fire brand when it comes to driving that habit change, that you cannot just sit and have passive income, but you need to make those 15-18 hour days in order to do that. So these are the kind of changes that these brands are bringing about. So if you now let me just bring perspective to it, because it's all about what people have done. So today let's take one example of your practice. So let's take your example. If you are an NLP practitioner today, or if you are studying NLP as a core modality, I agree NLP in itself is driving to change the world. But what is NLP effectively doing is bringing the brand NLP into picture. But what are you trying to do? What is that fundamental change that you are trying to bring? And the moment you become narrow in terms of understanding what you are trying to do is the moment you understand what change you specifically, yes, you can bring to this world and not just everybody around you. So you have to be very specific rather than being generic in terms of understanding. So if you are a person who launched a product, who launched a service which is fundamentally similar to everything else that is being launched, what is that one change that you will bring that nobody else can bring to the table? And that fundamentally changes how people perceive brands. The question for you is very simple, and I want you to write it down in your journal, is what is that fundamental change, or what is that specific change that you're trying or driving or striving to make in this world, so that your tribe or the people that are your customers or your followers can actually help themselves come from level A to level B. This habit change is yours and not everybody else's. So this is something very unique to you. So what is that you are trying to do in order to make that fundamental change in your life? I'll leave you with that question, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time with a different perspective towards branding, and let's go ahead with this challenge relentlessly. I'm happy that you are being a part of this challenge and taking these day by day lessons so that you can transform from being a commodity to being a strong personal brand. See you tomorrow.